Hi everybody. Today we're going to begin our unit on photosynthesis. And this first unit in photosynthesis is all about comparing photosynthesis and respiration. Right? Two very, very important processes for all living things. So, what is the molecular equation for photosynthesis? Well, if you look in this diagram over here, we see that in order to photosynthesize, plants need to take in two materials. They need to take in water, H2O, through the roots, and they also need to take in CO2, which is carbon dioxide, which comes in through the leaves. Right? With the energy from sunlight, they convert these two compounds into this stuff over here, C6H12O6, which is the molecular formula for glucose, right? Which is what the plant wants to make. The purpose of photosynthesis is to make this glucose, and then it gives off a waste product that's very, very helpful for us and all animals and other living things on this planet. That waste product is 6O2, which is 6 molecules of oxygen gas. Right? The whole purpose of this chemical reaction is to convert light energy into chemical energy stored in carbohydrates. Okay, glucose, this C6H12O6, is an example of a carbohydrate. Now, this type of reaction is called an anabolic reaction. It's a reaction that builds larger molecules, right? And energy can be stored in these larger molecules. Again, that larger molecule that we're building is that glucose, and we're making it out of relatively small ingredients, H2O and carbon dioxide. Now, we're not capable of photosynthesis, obviously. Any animal that can do photosynthesis or some other process to make its own food is known as an autotroph. So autotrophs can make their own food through the process of photosynthesis or the process of chemosynthesis. In chemosynthesis, you're not using light to make food, but you're using chemicals to make food. This is a process that's pretty common down in like the deepest parts of the ocean. There's no light down there. It's pitch black, so you can't have photosynthesis, but you have animals surviving through a process of chemosynthesis. Now, if we look at respiration, right, which is what plants and animals are both capable of doing, right, it's literally just the opposite of photosynthesis. So the equation here, we just want to go backwards. In respiration, we take in glucose, C6H12O6, and we breathe in oxygen from the atmosphere, 6 molecules of O2. Alright? Now, what we want to do, as we take these two reactants into our bodies, right, we generate heat and a molecule called ATP, which is actually what your cells run off. It's fuel for your cells. And in doing that, we create a couple of waste products, right? One we exhale, which is carbon dioxide, and then one we pee out, which is H2O. Alright? And those are what you need to begin photosynthesis. So it's really just a big cycle. The purpose of doing this process of respiration is to release the energy that's stored in carbohydrates right here, and we're releasing it as a form that cells can actually use, which is that molecule ATP. Now, this right here is called a catabolic reaction, right? A catabolic reaction is a chemical reaction that breaks down larger molecules like glucose into smaller molecules like carbon dioxide, but as you do that, right, energy is released. I used to have the hardest time remembering, the difference between catabolic and anabolic reactions. I kept on getting them confused, right? But we have a bunch of cats, right? And I remember one Christmas, my cats were fighting over who can be like the highest in the Christmas tree. And it was the first year we've ever had a Christmas tree. I mean, I was in college learning about anabolic and catabolic for the first time, right? So I come home one day, and all of a sudden, I open the door, and my Christmas tree's knocked over. My 3 cats are just standing there like jerks because I just knocked over the tree. And you think game over, right? Because the tree knocked over, you can't be the highest one in a knocked over tree. But then they continue to bat around all the glass Christmas ornaments until they all shattered. Stupid jerks. So, I remember catabolic because cats break down things, just like, catabolic reactions break down things, right? Like the cats broke down my Christmas spirit that year, right? Anabolic reactions are reactions that build things up, right? So, when we're still in class, you guys probably thought, hey, how did Mr. Kruger get so ripped? Anabolic steroids is a good way to do it, right? Because anabolic steroids build muscles just like anabolic reactions build up larger molecules. Obviously joking about the anabolic steroids, guys. Don't report me. Oopsie. So, the type of organism that can do respiration is both autotrophs and heterotrophs, right? In order to get the energy we need to survive, heterotrophs must eat other organisms, right? So, just a quick little review. I'm going to show you 6 pictures. You want to tell me if it's autotroph or heterotroph. Right? Here we have a picture of seaweed. Right? Seaweed is green, it's photosynthetic, and therefore an autotroph. This next picture is bacteria. Remember, last unit we said that bacteria kind of invented photosynthesis. So bacteria can be autotroph or heterotroph. Leonardo DiCaprio, just like us, obviously a heterotroph, cannot photosynthesize or make its own food. Here we have a mushroom, which is a fungus. Mushrooms cannot photosynthesize, they're not green, and therefore it is a heterotroph. Here we have a Venus flytrap that's eating a fly, but it's green, it's photosynthetic, it's all the energy it needs from sunlight, and therefore an autotroph. It just eats the flies because it doesn't get a lot of fertilizer from the soil. And then finally, we have a jellyfish. Jellyfish sting other animals in the ocean, suck them up and eat them, therefore it's a heterotroph. Sorry about the crying baby, guys, but that's it for today's lesson. Bye.